So for the national immunization schedule, the first rule that we need to remember is that all oral vaccines are given first. So you will first give OPV, and the dose we know is 2 drops, 2 boond zindagi ki. And then we give rotavirus, where we give 5 drops. After that we give all the injections. So injections we go from superficial to deep. So we will first give intradermal, then subcutaneous, and then intramuscular. So when a patient when a child comes to you at birth, you want to give them the 0 dose of OPV, and you want to give them BCG. So 0 OPV is obviously going to be oral 2 drops, right? Then you want to give them BCG, which is for severe complications of tuberculosis, right? That you want to give them on the left upper arm. It's going to be an intradermal injection. If it is immediately at birth, you are going to give them 0.05 ml. But you can give this vaccine if the child has not taken the vaccine at birth. You can give it up till 1 year of age. So from 1 month to 1 year of age, your dose then becomes 0.1 ml. Hepatitis B, then you want to also give them, which is going to be on the left anterolateral thigh, and this is going to be 0.5 ml IM, intramuscular, on the left anterolateral thigh. So increasing dose, remember BCG 0.05 ml normally, but if it is beyond 1 month, then you can give 0.1 ml, and hepatitis B is 0.5 ml IM. In fact, 0.5 ml IM is a very common route and dose, so if you don't remember, just mark that. Then at 6 weeks, now you have this, remember these together, 6, 10 and 14 weeks. So at 6 weeks you want to give, see, 3 vaccines are very standard. You have OPV, Rota and Penta. OPV, Rota, Penta, OPV, Rota, Penta. You are adding 2 vaccines, FIPV1 and PCV, that is your pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, and this is the fractionated IPV. These you are adding at 6 and 14 weeks. So at 6 weeks, first again you will give the oral drug first, so oral vaccine first, OPV, Rota 2 and 5 drops. FIPV you want to give on the right upper arm intradermally, you want to give 0.1 ml. Right, so all FIPV doses, FIPV1 and FIPV2 at right upper arm intradermal 0.1 ml, except for FIPV3, where you want to give on the left upper arm intradermal 0.1 ml. And the reason over here is because you are going to give them MR along with that at 9 months in the right upper arm, which is going to be subcutaneous 0.5 ml. So FIPV1 is going to be right upper arm intradermal. PCV1 again going to be right anterolateral thigh. So it is going to be IM, and the dose is 0.5 ml. And Penta is the one that is left. Now please remember, pentavalent contains D, P, T, Hep B and Haemophilus influenzae. Now this pertussis component of Penta and DPT booster, when we will give it later, it leads to an inconsolable cry as a side effect, inconsolable cry, and it leads to also sometimes neurologic deficits. This is very rare, but because it leads to this inconsolable cry, we are always going to give pentavalent last. So Penta is now left, so we are going to give it in the left anterolateral thigh IM 0.5 ml. Now at 10 weeks it's very easy, again oral OPV, oral Rota and Penta, the same left anterolateral thigh IM 0.5 ml. At 14 weeks the same order follows. At 9 months you are also going to start with vitamin A, which is going to be oral. Now you are not going to give Penta, you are only going to now you come to MR1, right, which we've already discussed. You are going to give right upper arm subcut 0.5 ml, and one thing I forgot was that Rota causes, the side effect of Rota is going to be intussusception. in rotavirus interception. This we know from radio also, we have studied radio and surgery. Measles, this we've already done. Inconsolable cry, neurologic deficits for penta. Measles MR causes a measles like disease or measles like flu like illness, right? And so that is at 9 months. And Japanese encephalitis is in endemic regions. This is given again. Japanese encephalitis is what is left. PCV is the same. It's a right, it's what we've been following, right anterolateral thigh, 0.5 ml IM. And Japanese encephalitis is now again left. So left anterolateral thigh, 0.5 ml IM. Right? At 16 to 24 months, you want to give MR2, JE2 and DPT booster 1. And DPT booster 1, if the patient has not taken, he can take it up to 7 years. Remember, oral polio can be taken up to 5 years. Okay, so can and also vaccines, if they have not taken, your OPV, your rota, your FIPV and your penta, these they can be taken up to 1 year of age if they have not taken, right? OPV can be taken up to 5 years. And yes, hepatitis B can be taken up to 24 hours. Okay, and DPT booster 2 is given at 5 to 6 years, and TT is given IM obviously at 10 and 16 years. Now remember where you place them in the ice lined refrigerator. So this is an ice lined refrigerator, suppose. Remember that the cooling occurs down below. So this is where it is cold, and therefore the vaccines that are heat sensitive, you want to keep them below, correct? So you want to keep the heat sensitive vaccines below, and you want to keep the freeze sensitive, that is your freeze sensitive vaccines, you want to keep above, away from the cold temperature in the ice lined refrigerator, right? And how are you going to check the efficacy? Is freeze sensitive, you want to use the shake test, where your aluminum hydroxide precipitation is checked for, and heat sensitive you want to check with the vaccine vial monitor, where if the square is of the same color or of a darker color than the outer circle, then you will discard the vaccine. Now how you remember this is from top to bottom. Remember diluent. So remember first that the top is is freeze sensitive, right? Because remember your ice in the ice lined refrigerator is at the bottom. This is what is cold. So remember now from top to bottom, and then you will remember everything else. So remember first that diluent, somehow in life, people who have not concentrated in life have reached the top. So diluents are in the top. Then hepatitis B, as healthcare workers, you want to be vaccinated against hepatitis B. Penta, because it is an all-in-one 5 problems 1 solution vaccination, so 5-in-1 vaccine, so obviously it is going to get a priority. After that comes PCV, because IMN, CI and pneumonia is common in neonates, so remember pneumonia you want to avoid, so this is also important. Now polio, again you don't want to come again into the infants, so IPV is important, right? And then because you've studying so much, and all of this is just breaking your heart, like why I have to study vaccines and all of this. So break your heart, whenever you break something, you get hurt, you get a tetanus vaccination. So just remember that you've now broken some bones and hearts and whatnot, so you've taken tetanus TD vaccine. After that, after you've broken your heart and everything, what do? You cry, so you take your rotavirus, right? Now you will remember, okay, how hard I must have cried when I took that BCG vaccine. The first thing you take birth on earth, and then you have to take the BCG vaccine. That can also lead to lymphadenopathy and ulceration, by the way. That is the side effect. But anyway, you remembered that, okay, I had also cried a lot as a child immediately after I was born because the nurse gave me a BCG injection. But thank God I don't live in a Japanese encephalitis endemic region. Otherwise, I would have had to take one more vaccine. Okay, but now look, MR, the government has made the MR drive, right, for school going children compulsory. So now it's just such a sad life to take all these injections in vaccines. The best was just do boon zindagi ki, that was the oral vaccine, which was OPV. And that is how you end the story on a very nostalgic note. So from the top, very stupid way of remembering, but remember that you have diluents first, then you have Hep B, because healthcare workers want to be vaccinated against Hep B. You have Penta, because 5 problems, 1 solution. So Hep B, Penta, PCV, because pneumonia is also an important disease, IPV, TD, which is tetanus, rotavirus, BCG, then after BCG, Japanese encephalitis, MR, and OPV. So the ones below are heat sensitive and the ones above are freeze sensitive. IPV comes in between somewhere. So these are all your adverse effects. Also for polio, I forgot to say that your vaccine associated paralytic polio is more common, especially with the P3 type of polio virus. And vaccine derived was associated with mutations in P2, which is no longer seen, right? So this is it about all the vaccines.